Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Premier League 2026-2027 predictions. I know I'm dropping this like an hour before kickoff for the first game. I'm also gonna throw in my week 1 predictions at the end of the video. Can we get 15-20 likes in this video, and can we hit 4K by the end of the month? Yeah, I am myself because I'm wearing this, and after that, you know, game against Arsenal at the weekend, yeah, I don't see things going well for us at all. Anyways, let's just get into it. Yeah. 20 of Hull. Come on. Does anybody not see Hull going down? Lads, let's look at their signings. They've signed Joe Gilhart from Leeds for 6.5 million, Jack Butland from Rangers, which would have been a decently experienced goalkeeping decision if they didn't end up signing Tzolakis from Olympiacos for undisclosed fee. Lads, they haven't really made any big signings. Everybody's predicting them to go down, and I think they'll finish dead last with about, I don't think they'll be completely hopeless, but 17 points. You'll probably win about 3 games and draw about 8. Another thing I want to say about Hull is they're going to probably keep up about no more than 4 clean sheets the entire season and concede more than 70 goals. And I'm going to say it now, they won't even score 30 goals. That's my prediction on Hull. 19th Ipswich. Right. I think they'll finish 19th. There's a chance for survival for them, unlike Hull, who's definitely going down. But, lads, I'm going to be honest, their signings aren't really hitting it for me. Emerson from Toulouse could be a decent signing. But signing Abdul Fatwa from Leicester, a guy who just got relegated to League One with Leicester, probably not a good deal, guys. Florentino from Burnley could be a very mixed bag signing. Media from Celtic, I don't know how to pronounce his name, really good goal scorer apparently. I just think he'll flop in the league, lads. Same for Duop, Akpom, and yeah, lads, you won't be completely hopeless. I just think you need like a proper big signing. I'm gonna say 21 points with about 4 wins and 9 draws or something like that. 18th Nottingham Forest. Yep, I put Nottingham Forest to get relegated. I know, it's crazy. They don't have Europe, and the only reason why they finished as low as they did last season was because they had Europe, right? Um, Now they've got no Europe, and I'm still predicted them to go down. I could have went with Coventry, lads. I could have just done the same 3 that came up to go back down, which is boring. That's why I didn't do it. I think Nottingham Forest will go down with about 28 points, lads. The only real signing they've made is Usmande Diomande. Lads, I'm going to be honest. They've sold Elliot Anderson and they failed to replace him, lads. They really haven't they? They've got rid of Owanie. I cannot say his name. They got rid of him to Coventry. And yeah, lads, I'm going to be honest. Willy Boley, Stefan Ortega. Lads, you got 116 million for Elliot Anderson, and you could have bought about 3 good names of that. Lads, I just think he'll go down with about 28 points. Yeah, sorry, lads. 17th Coventry. I'm going to say it now. I think Coventry survives just because of Frank Lampard. I think they'll scrape survival. I think they'll just about stay up with about 30 points. Lads, they've made a lot of 20 plus million signings. I have to give them credit there. Carl Rushforth from Brighton for 22.5 million. I don't think he'll keep more than 7 clean sheets, but he'll be a key factor in their survival. Unlike Hull, who probably won't even, Hull probably won't even keep 4 clean sheets the entire season. Will probably concede more than 70 goals. But lads, you've signed Burnley's Liam Tachuan. I cannot say that name. Fenerbahce's Siddiqui Sheriff and Caleb Uranki from Norja. I'm not even going to try and pronounce these names of the clubs, lads. And then you've brought in a 4th striker who I was on about earlier. And then Frank Onyeka, lads, there's a lot of signings. I'm going to say now, there's a lot of signings that I do think Coventry coming up as the best team, automatically it would be 18th, right? And the signings they've made outmatch someone like a Nottingham Forest. I'm going to say they'll survive up just by about like 2 points, 30 points, lads. I think it will be like the lowest like points for a 17th place team in a long time. Lads, you'll get about maybe about 6 wins and then draw like 12. 16th Palace. Originally I had Palace for 15th. Lads, they won the Conference League and they struggled whenever they were in the Conference League. It's not going to get any better now that they've upped the level of European competition. And lads, you just let rid of your best centre-back, and before that, you let go of your other best centre-back to Man City in January. You haven't done yourself any favours by swapping Brendan Johnson for Dwight McNeil. No, not Dwight McNeil. What am I on about? Yeah, it's Dwight McNeil. I need to stop correcting myself, lads. I'll be honest. All he is your traditional footballer that is able to swing them into the back post like he's nothing special. And the signings, lad, I don't see anything really, I don't see anything that's world class here for signings, lads. I'm going to say 16th with about 32 points. Yeah, sorry, Palace fans. 15th, Sunderland. Some people are surprised I put Sunderland all the way down here, considering my last year's predictions. I predicted them to finish like dead last or something. Yeah, I learned my lesson. They're probably arguably the best promoted side after that Wolves team. I'm gonna say it though, I just don't think they'll do as well this season. I think they will drop off now that they are in the Conference League or the Europa League or whatever they're in. But I'm gonna say it now. Originally I had them for 16th, and I had them finishing on 32 points, 34 points, but instead I put Palace in that role with 32. I swapped the two teams around. I think you'll finish in 15th with about 36 points, lads. And I'm gonna be honest, you haven't got rid of any top players, but when it comes to signings, you haven't really signed anyone big either. 15th. 15th, Fulham. Now, a lot of people think Fulham are going down, right? A lot of people think they're either going down or they're going to be in a relegation battle. I had them for 15th originally, lads. The biggest player they've sold, lads, is probably Raul Jimenez, Diop, or the Harry Wilson. I'm gonna be honest here. Their signings, some people say they're not they don't really approve of it. Gonzalo Garcia, some people think he'll flop. I don't know. I think he's a 50-50 signing. I think he could, I think he'll get at least 5 league goals. Some people say he won't even get a single goal. I think he'll get 5 for the money they paid, 34 million. Yeah, flop, but I think he'll do all right. And then Cesar Palacios, like Marco Silva's gone, so I get why people would expect him to go down. But lads, the signing of Shea Charles, the young Northern Ireland midfielder from Southampton, is a brilliant deal. And you know what? I think he'll be their standout player this season. And I think they'll finish 14th with about 41 points. Now, next season, maybe is where you should start panicking about relegation battles and all that. But this season, I think they'll be just fine. They're fine every season. So, yeah. 13th, Everton. Now, when it comes to Everton, their signings, who they've sold, they haven't really sold anyone too important, other than Trisagana Gay, who's gone at like the age of 36 or 37. Now, it comes to their signings, you got Christian Norgard from Arsenal, you got Merlin Royal from Freiburg, Tyrick George from Chelsea, and Hayden Hickey, or Hackney, right? Decent signings. But the only really good signing is getting the best of the swap deal for Brennan Johnson for Palace and trading off Dwight McNeil. As I would like to say, somewhere in between 10th or 9th, but I just don't see it for Everton. I'm going to say 13th with about 44, 45 points. 12th, Brentford. Yep, I went with Brentford 12th. Why the fall off? Brentford are always going to be in between that. Oh god, I know what happened to me there. Brentford are always going to be in between that, like, 12th to, like, 7th spot, other than, like, that one season, like, a couple of years ago. Why I put them down at 12th, Jordan Henderson's gone, and do not underestimate that man's leadership in the changing room. That guy is a massive spirit, and that's why I do think they will bump down about 2 or 3 spots. Now, Callum Wilson on a free from West Ham is a good signing. The same for, Mamadou Sangar from Lens for 40 million. But Jaden Anthony from Burnley. Why? I think they'll finish 12th with like 48 points or 47 or something. They'll just have a decent season. Seventh, Newcastle. Some people think lower, some people think higher. Lads, I'm going to say no. I'm not sure if Eddie Howe's gone or not, but you've sold Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, and Anthony Gordon all in the same window. Lads, you haven't even replaced them with stars. I don't think you get more than like 50 points or 51 points. You finished 11th. Lads, it's going to get worse before it gets better. To be fair, you have made some, decent signings. I think Bamba from Monaco will be a decent signing. I think Bazumana Traore from Hoffenheim for 42 million will be a decent signing. And same for Sean Stier from Ajax. But the rest of them, I'm not too sure. I'm going to say 11 for like 50, 51 points. I don't know what else to say. 10th, Leeds. Originally, I had Leeds at like 12th. But lads, I'm going to say it now. The signing of James Trafford from Manchester City is a great signing. And you know what? I think he will show it this season. And he will get over 10 clean sheets. And Leeds will have an impressive season. And I think Mihar Tyrek, the centre back, I'm not going to try and pronounce the second name, from Sissolo for 34 million. I think that's a good signing. I think he'll pay off very well. Harry Wilson on a free from Fulham is also a good signing. Lads, I think they'll show up with about 53 points or something in 10th place. Leeds will have a decent wee season. Yeah, why not? I genuinely think James Trafford could be in there for like top 3 best goalkeepers this season. So, yeah, why not? Leeds 10th. Brighton. Brighton are always going to be in between that 6th to like 12th place position, lads. I went with them 9th. Yes, they have just got rid of Rushworth to Coventry and Jan-Paul van de Heck to Tottenham. That's a bit of a mouthful to say, to be honest. And Danny Welbeck, all to Chelsea, Tottenham, Coventry, those 3, right? And James Milner's gone too, which is going to affect the changing room also, just like Henderson for Brentford. But lads, they're signing Luka Viskovic from Tottenham for 50 million. Johanna from AIK for 21 million. Don't know much about him. And then Leeds' Sturgic, Pascal. I'm not good with these names. All I'm gonna say, they replaced it with depth, and you know what? I think it'll do them good. 9th of about 55 points or something. I don't know. 8th, Tottenham. Now, I'm going to say it now. A lot of people think Tottenham are going to go back to top 4, top 3 now they don't have Europe this season. After back-to-back 17th place finishes, lads, how could you say that? Originally, I had them for like 11th, but I've been generous enough to put them up into the top 10. Lads, their signings have been great. Tonali, Mateus Fernandes, Jean-Paul Van Heck from Brighton, Andy Robertson on a free, Martin Dubravka on a free, Marco Sensei from Bournemouth, which is probably their best centre back. Lads, it's been all around a great transfer window for Tottenham, and I think they will succeed. 8th place with about 57 points. They might be able to script Conference League, I don't know. But a way better season for Tottenham, and hopefully that's them on the way back up. Never thought I would wish that for Tottenham, but yeah. 7th, Bournemouth. Is this a hot take to predict Bournemouth to finish in a European spot back-to-back seasons? Lads, there could be a wee bit of biases going on because I'm going to uni in Bournemouth, so I have to give them a good spot. But no, I believe, lads, yes, you lost Areola, your best manager, but them at Brighton, them clubs do have a lot in common. They always seem to replace a manager with an even better manager. So I think they'll be just fine. And to be honest, lads, they're signing Julian Sanchez from Seville, Alvaro Rodriguez for 21 million, and Antonio Silva from Benfica for 25 million. I think they'll be just fine. I think they'll have another good season. Lads, some people think they'll fall off to like 15th or 14th. I think they're always going to be in around that like 7th to 13th position. I've predicted them 7th. I'm going to make a hot take. Bournemouth will win the Europa League or at least get to the semis or quarters. I'm going to say at least bare minimum semis, but I'm going to say they might win the whole thing. And it would be such an atmosphere, me being in Bournemouth and seeing this happen. So I kind of want this to happen. Liverpool. They will finish in a Europa League position. Yes, they've just got an Areola, but lads, I'm going to tell you now, you're going to start to realise that it wasn't Slot's fault. It was always an ageing team, and the signings he made aren't going to be world-class within one season. Lads, this was always going to happen, and I think he'll just drop into the Europa League. And if you blame Areola, it just shows that, like, maybe the club's the problem. Because, lads, this summer you've got rid of Mohamed Salah, Andy Robertson, Kanate. Those are three big losses for the club right there, lads. And who they've signed in their place is Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes for 60 million. I don't know much about the guy. Victor Munoz from Osasuna. I don't know that club. And Araujo from Barcelona on loan. I'm going to be honest, lads. I see 62 points. I see just missing out on Champions League. Yeah. Fifth, Manchester City. Yep. I did it. I predicted us to finish fifth. We haven't even finished fifth or outside the top four since I don't even think we won the league in like 2012. Lads, it's been a great run from Man City, but I'm going to say no. Originally I had us like third or fourth, but after that 3-0 pumping by Arsenal, I genuinely think it's going to be fifth. Still somehow Champions League, but lads, City have lost so much players this season. I don't even think people realise it. Not just as Pep gone, lads. Reindeers, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva. Three midfielders are gone. Do you want to know who else is gone? Trafford. Do you want to know who else is gone? Nathan Ake, Akanji, and Stones. 7 big names there have left Manchester City. Lads, even Calvin Phillips is gone, lads. We've loaned out a lot of players there. I'm going to be honest with you. Our signings being Monga from Leicester, a guy who just got released, no, a guy who just got relegated to League One, and Elliot Anderson. I think he'll be a good player, but not worth more than like 60 million. I'm gonna be honest, lads. I think fifth place with about 65 points. I think we're scraping Champions League. Fourth, Aston Villa. No, I'm gonna say it. I could swap them and Man City around. A lot of people say that's actually a fair enough prediction. Because, lads, they have sold a lot of big players too. Like, look at Digne's away to PSG, Malin's away to Roma, Tielemans is away to United, Konza's been sold to Arsenal, which is a big loss, by the way, and Morgan Rogers is away to Chelsea. Lads, everybody would say that putting them below Man City is the right option, but I'm going to back them to do better than us, because the people that brought in João Gomez from Wolves, Manzambia, yeah, I got it right, has been signed for 60 million. Parma's Zion Zucchi, Garnacho alone, and the Italian left back from Atletico Madrid, Matteo Ruggeri. Lads, I'm going to be honest, I think they've made good signings. I think they'll still manage to get like 68 points and in fourth place or something. I think they'll be just fine. And they've got Unai Emery, who is a way better coach than Maresca. I'm not confident for City. I think we'll just script Champions League. I think Villa will be just fine. Third, Chelsea. Chelsea will finish third with around 73 points, and they genuinely could be in the title race. But I think by about March or mid-February they'll be out of it. Like, lads, look at their signings: Morgan Rogers, Palace's Maxence Lorcrux, Quinda from Sporting. I cannot pronounce his name. Palestra from Atalanta. You got a bunch of other signings. Danny Welbeck on a free, Joe Henderson on a free, and lads, the only real big players they've sold is Cucurella and Santos. Lads, I'm gonna be honest, Garnacho too, but that's on loan. Lads, I'll be honest, Chelsea will be just fine. They'll do very well with Xabi Alonso. That's why I think they are in contention for maybe first or second because of him. But I'd say about third place with 73 points. She'll do well. Second, Manchester United. I'm gonna say now, United's had a great transfer window. I think they'll finish second with about 79 points. Close. And you know what, lads? When it comes down to you and the team I predicted first, I would rather it be you. Coming from a team that supports this team right here, I would rather it be you. But, lads, I think it will be close. Your signings have been good. Like, you've signed Santos, Tielemans, and apparently there's another signing that you've made as a good midfielder coming in. Lads, I think it's a one-way race, like, to be honest with you. First, Arsenal. Who else did you think it was going to be? Lads, we are in for an era of Arsenal dominance, and I hate it, but it's going to happen. Lads, they brought in Konza, arguably Aston Villa's best centre-back. That's like one of your big teams, your big title race contenders centre-backs. You brought in Bruno Guimaraes to strengthen your midfield even more. You've brought in Piero Inkip, I can't even say his name, for 34 million. You've brought in a lot of players, lads, and the biggest sale has been Trossard. Lads, they'll win the league with about 85 points. This is easy for them. Anyway, lads, I'm going to start with my week 1 predictions. The video's over 20 minutes, so we've literally nearly got it to the length of a podcast. I wanted this to be like 14 minutes at most. But we'll start with predictions. Arsenal Coventry. Arsenal go 1-0 up. Coventry will equalise, and they will look strong at times. But I think ultimately a 3-1 win, and the match is in like 3 minutes, so I've got to hurry up and make this. I'm going to upload this video for about 8:30. Hull United, I'm going to say like a 3-1 United win. Everton Palace, I'm going to say 1-1. Nottingham Forest, versus Leeds, I'm gonna say 1-1 again. Ipswich Sunderland, I'm gonna say 0-0. Brentford Tottenham, I'm gonna say Brentford Tottenham, I'm gonna say a 1-0 Tottenham win. And then how many matches we got left to go through? I think we've got 3 more. Brighton Aston Villa 1-1, Man City Bournemouth 2-2, Newcastle Liverpool 1-0 Liverpool. Yeah, that's the predictions. Actually, not the predictions, because I forgot about Fulham versus Chelsea, the derby. I'm gonna say a 3-0 Chelsea win. Why not? That's it for the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everything from the start of the video. Yeah.